What if the narrative of human existence is far grander, far deeper than the stories we tell ourselves? We are taught that human history stretches back only a few thousand years, a familiar chronicle unfolding on the sunlit stage of Earth's surface. We mark our progress by visible monuments, by cities that rise and fall, by inscriptions carved under open skies. But what if this perceived history, this brightly illuminated stage, is only the thinnest veneer, a mere fragment of a much larger, more profound epic? What if the true story, the most enduring chapters of intelligent life, have unfolded and continue to unfold far from the gaze of the sun? The Earth's surface, this dynamic and often tumultuous realm, is where our known civilizations have flourished. Yet, it is also a canvas of ceaseless change, constantly being reshaped by forces of immense power and slow, relentless erosion. Mountains, which seem to anchor the very continents, are relentlessly worn down by wind, water, and ice across millions of years. Vast forests, vibrant ecosystems today can vanish, replaced by deserts or swallowed by advancing glaciers. Rivers ceaselessly carve new paths, altering entire landscapes, while the restless oceans perpetually shift their boundaries, devouring coastlines and burying settlements under their relentless tides. What stands proud and clear as a city today can be a forgotten ruin tomorrow, and a ghost, or even dust, in a few thousand years. The evidence of our passage, our grandest cities, our intricate networks, our carefully constructed world, is shockingly ephemeral when measured against the deep currents of geological time. The surface is a place of constant flux, where memory is fleeting and even stone succumbs to the patient hand of decay. But beneath this transient stage, far below the churning cycles of ice and fire, flood and wind, lies another realm entirely. A world of profound stillness, untouched by the sun's gaze, shielded from the planet's most violent surface upheavals. This is the deep Earth, a vast, silent, and largely unexplored domain where conditions remain stable for epochs, where the very forces that destroy on the surface act as preservers in the depths. What if, within this immense, silent embrace, entire civilizations found not just refuge, but a perpetual sanctuary? What if, where sunlight never touches, where the conventional rules of our existence might not apply, sophisticated societies have not merely survived, but thrived, evolving in isolation beyond our conventional understanding of life? Consider an unsettling possibility. What if life, intelligent and complex, endures where sunlight never touches? What if the greatest stories, the most enduring legacies of intelligent beings on this planet, lie not etched on sun-drenched stone, but quietly, patiently beneath our feet, preserved by the very darkness that conceals them? These are not mere fanciful imaginings. They are profound questions that challenge the very foundations of our historical perspective. There is an inherent, almost primal, human fascination with what lies beneath. From the earliest myths of underworlds and subterranean spirits, spanning cultures across every continent, the Greek Hades, the Mayan Xibalba, the Aboriginal Dreamtime's deep dwellers, to a child's wide-eyed wonder at digging a hole in the earth, to the relentless scientific inquiry that drills miles into the planet's crust, we are drawn to the hidden depths. We peer into the shadowed mouths of caves, map the labyrinthine passages of ancient mines, and dream of secret passages leading to unseen realms. This impulse is more than mere curiosity. It is an echo of a primordial understanding that the Earth holds secrets, that its interior is not just inert rock, but a potential archive, a vast unexplored frontier of possibility. Our intuition whispers that something significant might reside in those unseen spaces. When we speak of lost civilizations, our minds often conjure images of complete disappearance, of worlds utterly vanished without a trace. obliterated by some ancient cataclysm, scattered to the winds of time, or utterly erased by the relentless march of geological process. But what if lost doesn't mean gone forever, consigned to oblivion? What if it simply means concealed? What if these lost worlds are not extinguished but merely hidden, waiting quietly in the dark, preserved by the very forces that would destroy them on the volatile surface? This redefinition profoundly alters the nature of our quest. It shifts our inquiry from seeking ghostly remnants of the past to searching for an enduring, perhaps continuous presence, a continuation of complex existence simply beyond our immediate perception. The silence of the deep is not necessarily an absence. It may be the ultimate form of protection. Our surface world, in its constant activity, is a selective, often brutal archivist. The Earth is not a static museum that preserves everything exactly as it was. It is a restless living entity constantly reshaping itself. Over the span of just a few thousand years, an entire city, even one built of stone, can vanish beneath layers of soil, be drowned by a rising sea, or be swallowed by encroaching sands. Over tens of thousands, almost nothing recognizable would remain. The structures we build, no matter how grand or enduring they seem to us, are temporary monuments to a fleeting moment in geological time. Consider a modern metropolis abandoned today. Within a few centuries, vegetation would reclaim concrete, steel would corrode into rust, and wood would rot into dust. After 1,000 years, most would be indistinguishable rubble. After 10,000, it would be difficult to discern much at all. Perhaps only faint disturbances in the strata, a change in soil composition, a scattering of unusual minerals. Yet the deep earth offers a fundamentally different kind of preservation. It is a realm of immense constant pressure and remarkably stable temperatures, a vast geological vault where the relentless march of decay slows dramatically. Here, beneath kilometers of rock and sediment, structures could be shielded, entire cities encased, and whole ways of life held in a state of suspended animation, protected from the very elements that relentlessly scour and erase the surface. This concept challenges our most fundamental assumptions about the impermanence of existence, the linearity of history, and the very limits of life's adaptability. It suggests a form of survival utterly alien to our surface-dwelling imagination. Could it be that our entire understanding of human ingenuity, of our very origins, is limited by the thin crust of accessible surface history? What if the true continuity of intelligent life on Earth lies not in a broken, fragmented line of visible surface cultures, but in a hidden, enduring network, an expansive legacy carved into the planet's very foundations? We typically search for traces of forgotten surface civilizations, grand cities, sophisticated tools, profound writings carved in stone, and often expect clear, unambiguous signs that fit our established historical models. But what if the most compelling evidence is precisely what we are not looking for, in places we have rarely dared to explore, lying dormant in the vast, unexamined darkness? Our current historical narrative is inherently surface-centric, a story told almost exclusively by those who lived under the sun. We chronicle the rise of Mesopotamia, the empires of Rome, the spread of agriculture and writing, all occurring under open skies. This perspective has conditioned us to believe that life, especially complex, organized, technologically advanced life, must exist within the sun's embrace, drawing energy and inspiration from its light. We map our progress by the visible imprints left on the land, pyramids, temples, megalithic structures. But this reliance on only visible evidence on the superficial may be our greatest blind spot. What if other forms of sophisticated civilization developed in ways that deliberately avoided or were forced to abandon the tumultuous, chaotic surface? The term lost civilizations carries a sense of finality, implying a total absence, a complete erasure from the planet. But what if this is a profound misunderstanding born from our limited perspective? What if, instead of being utterly destroyed, Some societies were merely relocated or chose to recede from the surface, preserving their knowledge and way of life in an entirely different domain, evolving in a world hidden from our sight. This redefinition of lost is a fundamental paradigm shift. It transforms our inquiry from seeking ghostly, vanished remnants of the past to searching for an enduring, perhaps continuous, presence, a persistent continuation of complex existence simply beyond our immediate perception. The silence of the deep is not necessarily an absence. It may be the ultimate form of protection, the most effective veil against time and destruction. This quiet, yet profound possibility invites us to re-examine not only our perceived past, but also the very nature of the planet we inhabit. It challenges us to look beyond the immediate horizon, beyond the familiar layers of soil and rock, into the vast, silent depths below. It suggests that the Earth, our home, may be far more complex, far more populated, and hold far more hidden histories than we have ever dared to imagine. The story of humanity, in this illuminating light, expands dramatically, hinting at chapters yet unread, entire narratives waiting for discovery in the perpetual dark, where the sun's rays have never touched. To contemplate civilizations existing deep underground is to acknowledge the incredible adaptability of life and the immense resilience of intelligence. It is to consider that our bustling surface world, with all its triumphs, failures, and known history, might be just one vibrant yet fleeting expression of a much larger, more mysterious, and perhaps more ancient saga unfolding in the Earth's very heart. This is where our journey begins. Into the hidden realm beneath us, into the quiet possibility that the greatest stories are yet to be unearthed. While the restless surface of our world continuously reshapes itself, erasing the imprints of civilizations, a different kind of memory may linger, encoded in the oldest stories of humanity. For millennia, cultures across the globe have whispered tales not just of distant heavens, but of profound realms beneath their feet. These are the whispers from the deep past, narratives that resonate with a startling consistency, suggesting a truth far more ancient and complex than mere invention. We find ourselves drawn to these subterranean mysteries, compelled by an instinct that transcends simple curiosity. Across continents and through vast stretches of time, human imagination has populated the deep earth with hidden cities, powerful beings, and ancestral spirits. Consider the legends of Agharta and Shambhala, two names that evoke images of magnificent, enlightened civilizations dwelling within the Earth's core, reachable only by the chosen few through secret passages. These are not mere fantasy cities, but spiritual centers, repositories of wisdom, shielded from the chaos and corruption of the surface world. Their inhabitants are said to possess knowledge far exceeding our own, living in harmony, their existence a silent testament to a different path for humanity. Beyond these grand, often utopian visions, other myths delve into the very structure of the planet. The hollow earth theories, while largely dismissed by modern science, reflect a profound and enduring human intuition that the Earth is not merely a solid sphere, but a complex, perhaps even habitable world within itself. This is not simply a geological speculation. It is a narrative that appears in various forms, from ancient cosmologies to secret society doctrines hinting at vast, unexplored internal landscapes. Then there are the distinct underworlds, realms of the dead, but often also realms of powerful living entities. In ancient Greece, Hades was not just a place of departed souls, but a kingdom ruled by a formidable deity, a god of immense power and wealth derived from the earth's hidden riches. He presided over a structured domain, suggesting a highly organized existence. In Mesoamerican cosmology, the Mayan underworld of Xibalba, the place of fear, was ruled by powerful death gods and their retinue, a complex administrative and social structure existing deep within the earth. It was a realm of trials and transformation, but also a place of potent knowledge and enduring power. Even the Aboriginal Dreamtime, a spiritual framework stretching back tens of thousands of years, speaks of ancestral beings and sacred sites lying deep beneath the land, their power radiating upwards, subtly influencing the surface world. These subterranean beings are not always benevolent, but they are consistently powerful, ancient, and intrinsically linked to the planet's inner life. What is striking is not merely the existence of these myths, but their profound consistency across disparate cultures, separated by oceans and millennia. Whether in the lofty Himalayas, the scorching deserts of Australia, or the verdant jungles of Central America, the deep earth is consistently portrayed as an inhabited realm. These are not empty caverns, but structured worlds, often with their own social orders, their own forms of sustenance, and their own profound secrets. We hear of subterranean inhabitants who are sometimes guardians, sometimes sages, sometimes monstrous, but always distinct, always powerful. They are often depicted as having existed for an unfathomable time, preceding surface civilizations, enduring through catastrophes, and holding keys to the planet's deepest mysteries. Mainstream history often relegates these narratives to the realm of simple folklore, products of an imaginative but unscientific mind. But when we look closer, through the lens of a civilization potentially driven underground, a different interpretation emerges. These myths may not be mere fantasy. They could be faded memories, distorted accounts, or even subtle warnings passed down through countless generations of survivors. Imagine a people forced by a surface cataclysm, a comet, an ice age, a devastating flood, to retreat into the planet's depths. For those who remained on the surface, or for those who later emerged, the memory of these underground dwellers would quickly become mythologized. Their advanced technology might be perceived as magic, their long lifespans as immortality, their secluded homes as sacred, unearthly realms. The idea of mythical beings or gods of the underworld gains a compelling new dimension within this framework. Instead of supernatural entities, could they be highly advanced, forgotten ancestors of these subterranean civilizations? Their apparent omnipotence might be the result of a scientific or technological understanding far beyond the comprehension of nascent surface societies. Their divine status could be a misinterpretation of their longevity, their ability to control their environment, or their knowledge of geological processes. The gods who brought knowledge, who survived great floods, or who retreated into the earth, might simply be the inheritors of an unbroken lineage of advanced subterranean culture. Their wisdom passed down through the ages could be the remnants of an intellectual legacy preserved in a sanctuary untouched by the surface world's ephemeral dramas. Indeed, the deep earth itself takes on a symbolic significance in these stories. It becomes a repository of ancient wisdom, a profound library protected from the ceaseless chaos and destructive forces of the surface, while fire, flood, and ice rage above, threatening to erase all traces of human endeavor. The silent, stable depths offer refuge. Here, knowledge could be preserved, technologies safeguarded, and culture maintained through millennia. The subterranean realm, in this view, is not merely a hiding place, but an ark for intelligence, a sanctuary where the enduring essence of a civilization might thrive, waiting out the storm. The stability of deep geological formations, impervious to surface erosion or atmospheric changes, lends credence to the idea that this protective embrace could literally preserve not just physical structures, but the very fabric of an entire society's accumulated wisdom. These narratives, whether overtly believed or subconsciously absorbed, profoundly shape our understanding of the planet's inner mysteries. They instill in us a deep, almost primal curiosity about what lies beneath the familiar crust. From childhood bedtime stories of gnomes and goblins to elaborate science fiction narratives of inner worlds, the lure of the subterranean is pervasive. It reflects an innate human recognition that the earth holds secrets far greater than those revealed on its sunlit face. This subconscious understanding fuels not only our myths, but also our scientific inquiries, our mining endeavors, and our very philosophical outlook on existence. The mysteries of the deep are not just external puzzles. They are integral to our collective consciousness, a silent echo of a hidden past that continues to resonate within us, beckoning us to look deeper, to listen more closely to the whispers from the deep, vast darkness. These timeless legends serve as more than entertainment. They are a persistent reminder that the known world is merely a thin layer, and beneath it, other stories, other lives may quietly unfold. We have heard the echoes of lost worlds in ancient myths and legends, stories that hint at realms hidden just beyond our sight. But what if these tales are not merely symbolic, but fragmented memories of physical realities, worlds not truly lost, but carefully preserved by the planet itself? The Earth is not simply a stage upon which human history unfolds. It is an active participant, a vast dynamic entity with its own profound processes that can both destroy and, crucially, conceal. Our surface world is in constant flux, a realm of ceaseless erosion, decay, and the relentless forces of weather. Here, civilizations are fragile, their structures temporary. But beneath the surface, a different law often prevails. Imagine the sheer scale of geological forces, the slow, powerful movements that actively bury and preserve. Volcanic ash, for instance, does not only destroy life, it can entomb it. When a supervolcano erupts, as Toba did 74,000 years ago, it sends a colossal plume of ash into the atmosphere, blanketing vast continents for weeks or months. This ash, falling in thick, suffocating layers, can cover entire cities, forests and landscapes, preserving them almost perfectly, much like the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum, but on an unimaginable continental scale. What was once on the surface becomes a subterranean vault, sealed beneath layers of fine, mineral-rich dust, protected from the ravages of air, water, and biological decay. It is a rapid burial, a sudden embrace that can last for millennia. Then there is the ceaseless work of water. Rivers, swollen by floods, carry immense quantities of sediment downstream, depositing layers of silt, sand, and clay over vast floodplains. Over centuries, these layers accumulate, building up hundreds of meters of material that can slowly, inexorably, bury everything beneath them. Consider the great river deltas of the world, vast areas of land built by millennia of such deposition. Any civilization that existed on these low-lying plains or along the ancient courses of these rivers could find itself gradually swallowed by the earth, sinking deeper with each successive flood. Lakes, too, act as sediment traps, their beds accumulating fine particles year after year, slowly sealing away whatever rests at their bottom. These are not violent obliterations, but a patient, persistent concealment, a soft, slow burial under the accumulating weight of time and earth. Landslides, triggered by earthquakes, heavy rains, or volcanic activity, can also play a role in this grand act of burial. Entire mountainsides can collapse, sending torrents of rock, soil, and debris cascading into valleys, covering everything in their path. For civilizations nestled in mountainous regions or along ancient trade routes, a massive landslide could mean not just destruction, but a rapid, deep burial under thousands of tons of material. The sheer force of these events creates an instant, impenetrable seal, protecting whatever lies beneath from the elements for untold ages. And then there are the gradual yet profound movements of tectonic shifts. The Earth's crust is not static. It is a mosaic of massive plates constantly grinding, colliding, and sliding past one another. Over millions of years, these movements can cause entire land masses to subside, sinking slowly below sea level, or to be folded deep beneath mountain ranges. Coastlines disappear, lowlands become deep basins, and what was once on the surface is carried inexorably into the planet's interior. This is the ultimate long-term burial, a process unfolding across millions of years, capable of obscuring entire continents, rendering them utterly unrecognizable to any surface-dwelling observer. These processes are the planet's own slow, powerful heartbeat, reshaping its surface and, in doing so, creating vast, deep archives of what once was. This profound contrast between the surface and the deep is key to understanding the planet's potential as a preserver of lost worlds. On the surface, the forces of erosion and destruction are relentless and rapid. Wind scours away mountains, rain weathers stone, and the constant activity of living organisms breaks down almost everything. A modern city, if abandoned today, would crumble within centuries. Its metals would corrode, its organic materials would rot, and vegetation would reclaim its concrete skeleton. After a few millennia, little would remain but faint impressions in the soil, ghosts of foundations, easily swept away by the next ice age or geological shift. The surface is a realm of ephemerality, where time swiftly erases even our grandest achievements. But beneath the surface, protected from these forces, a different dynamic takes hold. Once buried, away from oxygen, light, and the churn of life, ancient structures, artifacts, and even entire settlements can enter a state of remarkable preservation. The slow, protective embrace of deep burial acts as a geological time capsule. Stable temperatures, immense pressure, and the absence of biological agents can slow decay to a near standstill. What would swiftly vanish on the surface can endure for hundreds of thousands, even millions of years, held in a dark, silent vault of rock and sediment. The deeper the burial, the more profound the protection, turning a geological cataclysm into a profound act of preservation. The Earth, in its vastness, can be a merciless destroyer, but also a most patient and encompassing guardian. It is amidst this colossal interplay of deep time and geological force that we might stumble upon the remnants of these hidden worlds. Accidental discoveries are the most likely pathway into these ancient subterranean archives. Unlike traditional archaeology, which often focuses on surface ruins or shallow digs, the true deep earth rarely yields its secrets willingly. Instead, glimpses often come from unexpected sources, moments where human endeavor intersects with the planet's deep memory. Consider the intricate, dangerous work of mining operations. As shafts plunge deeper and deeper into the Earth's crust, seeking precious minerals or coal seams, they sometimes breach unforeseen voids. A pickaxe might strike something unyielding that is not natural rock. A drill bit designed to penetrate solid earth could suddenly plunge into empty space, a sign of an ancient, unknown chamber. Miners burrowing through kilometers of stone have reported encountering strange anomalies, sections of rock that appear unnaturally smooth, carved passages that defy natural formation, or even faint traces of structures that seem to imply human or intelligent intervention. These are often fleeting observations, quickly dismissed or recovered as the imperative of resource extraction takes precedence. But each anecdote, each unexplained occurrence hints at something more. Deep construction projects also offer rare opportunities. The building of vast underground tunnels for transportation, or the excavation for immense subterranean foundations in our densest cities, requires probing far below the familiar soil. As these projects advance, engineers and construction crews sometimes encounter unexpected geological formations or patterns that do not fit the expected strata. An ancient petrified timber support beam found in a geological layer far too old for known human presence. A section of highly compacted, unnaturally regular masonry deep below the urban sprawl. A void that shows clear signs of deliberate shaping rather than natural erosion. These are often treated as geological curiosities, perhaps documented in obscure engineering reports, but rarely pursued with the rigor of archaeological inquiry, for they lie too far outside the accepted historical narrative. Even more speculative are discoveries made through seismic exploration, a technique primarily used for mapping oil and gas reserves. This involves sending acoustic waves deep into the earth and interpreting the echoes to create a subsurface map. While these maps are designed to identify geological structures, they can sometimes reveal unexpected patterns, geometric anomalies, unusually regular voids, or density variations that suggest hollow spaces or distinct, non-natural formations deep within the rock. These signatures of potential subterranean structures might be indistinguishable from natural geological features to the untrained eye, or even to the specialized equipment, but they hint at an underlying complexity that science is only just beginning to interpret. The very tools we use to understand the Earth's natural composition could inadvertently be mapping its buried past. However, such accidental finds are inherently rare, almost statistical impossibilities. When measured against the immense scale of deep burial and the sheer lack of intentional deep Earth archaeological exploration, we routinely explore the uppermost layers of the Earth, digging trenches a few meters deep for surface archaeology. But what lies kilometers below is largely untouched, unexamined, and unknown. The volume of the Earth's crust is staggering, a vast, dark expanse that dwarfs the tiny pockets we have managed to penetrate. Traditional archaeology is, by its very nature, a surface science. Its methods are designed for excavations measured in meters, not kilometers. The cost, technological challenge, and sheer logistical difficulty of truly exploring deep underground are immense. How do you identify a site kilometers below? How do you excavate it without disturbing the layers above? The tools, techniques, and even the mindset for deep Earth archaeology simply do not yet exist on a widespread scale. It requires pioneering methods, immense resources, and a willingness to challenge established paradigms. For now, we are like someone searching for a single lost coin in an ocean, equipped only with a small net. The vastness of what remains unexplored is almost incomprehensible. The Earth's crust, therefore, stands as a potential archive of untold history, a colossal, uncatalogued library holding chapters we have yet to even imagine. We tend to view the surface as the primary location of all significant events. But if intelligent life has existed for hundreds of thousands or even millions of years, then the chances of it having left traces only in the few meters we typically explore are vanishingly small. The true history of the planet, and perhaps of its civilizations, is written into its deep geological layers. Kilometers of rock, sediment, and ice hold untold stories, silent witnesses to worlds long since forgotten on the surface. It is a testament to our limited perspective that we believe all significant history must be visible to the sun. This brings us to the profound deep time perspective, a concept essential to grasping how geological cycles could repeatedly bury and obscure entire worlds. The Earth's history is measured not in millennia, but in epochs, eras, and eons, each spanning millions of years. Within these vast stretches, the planet itself moves in grand, slow rhythms. Continents drift, oceans open and close, mountain ranges rise and fall, and climates swing from tropical warmth to glacial cold. These are not static backdrops, but active, transformative processes. Consider the cycles of ice ages. For millions of years, vast sheets of ice have advanced and retreated across continents, grinding down mountains, carving out valleys, and depositing immense amounts of sediment. As these glaciers melted, they released unimaginable quantities of water, causing sea levels to rise by hundreds of meters, drowning coastlines and swallowing entire land masses. What was once a vibrant coastal city could, over millennia, be not only submerged but then buried by subsequent layers of marine sediment. Then, as tectonic forces continue their work, these submerged layers could be uplifted, folded, and even subducted, carried deeper into the Earth's mantle, only to emerge as unrecognizable rock millions of years later. Volcanic activity also operates on deep timescales. Supervolcanic eruptions occur not just once, but repeatedly over millions of years, each event capable of burying and preserving vast regions. Over successive eruptions, layers of ash and lava can build up, creating immense subterranean complexes of buried landscapes. Plate tectonics ensures that no part of the Earth's surface is truly permanent. What is land today could be ocean tomorrow, and what is exposed could be buried deep within a continental shelf in another million years. These relentless grand-scale cycles of geological activity ensure that entire worlds can be repeatedly buried, obscured and recycled, their traces slowly sinking deeper, waiting in the planet's vast, dark embrace. This deep time perspective suggests that our current surface civilizations are merely one transient expression in a much longer, more complex story of the planet. Just as the Earth itself moves in rhythms of destruction and renewal, so too does it in cycles of revelation and concealment. What we perceive as an absence of evidence might simply be the profound success of Earth's own natural processes in burying and preserving, not for our discovery, but as part of its own ongoing majestic transformation. The challenge and the wonder lies in learning to read these deep, silent pages of planetary history to understand that the greatest stories may be written not in ink, but in rock and time, waiting patiently in the dark. The Earth, a restless canvas, constantly reshapes its surface, burying the past under layers of dust, soil, and rock. But what if this deep embrace, so effective at obscuring, has also preserved wonders? What if, within those protective layers lie not just accidental fragments, but entire worlds deliberately carved into the planet's very core? Our journey into the hidden history of humanity now turns to the tangible, the known, astonishing achievements of ancient engineers who ventured into the deep, leaving behind masterpieces that defy our conventional understanding of their capabilities. These are not mere caves, but vast, intricate subterranean complexes, revealing a human ingenuity that reaches far beyond the sunlit world we inhabit. Across the globe, tantalizing glimpses of this subterranean prowess emerge. Perhaps the most striking are the underground cities of Cappadocia in Turkey. Here, the soft volcanic rock has been sculpted into entire civilizations, reaching depths of many stories. Derinkuyu, one of the most famous, is a colossal multi-level complex, estimated to have housed up to 20,000 people, along with their livestock and food supplies. It descends at least 8 levels, possibly more, stretching kilometers under the surface. Imagine the scale of this undertaking, not just carving out rooms, but designing an entire ecosystem. Churches, stables, wineries, food storage, schools, and living quarters, all interconnected by a labyrinth of tunnels. Each level could be sealed off by massive, circular stone doors weighing hundreds of kilograms, rolled into place from the inside, serving as formidable barriers against intruders. The sheer engineering required for Derinkuyu, and indeed all the Cappadocian complexes, is astonishing. How did ancient builders ensure structural integrity at such depths? How did they manage ventilation for thousands of inhabitants and for their animals far beneath the earth without modern machinery? Sophisticated air shafts reaching from the surface to the lowest levels provided a constant flow of fresh air, demonstrating a profound understanding of air pressure and circulation. Water wells, some reaching natural aquifers, supplied fresh water, while ingenious waste disposal systems maintained hygiene. These were not temporary shelters, but self-sufficient long-term habitations designed to sustain a population for extended periods, perhaps even for thousands of years. Such a feat challenges the very timeline of technological capability we often attribute to these ancient eras. Further south, in the arid landscape of Jordan, lies Petra, the ancient Nabatean city. While renowned for its breathtaking rock-cut facades like Al-Kazna, the treasury, or Ad-Dair, the monastery, the true marvel often overlooked is the vast network of cisterns, water channels, and subterranean chambers carved deep into the sandstone cliffs. These are not just decorative fronts. They are integrated systems of living spaces, tombs, and sacred sites that penetrate deep into the rock. The Nabateans, masters of hydraulic engineering in a desert environment, created an intricate system to capture and store every drop of rainwater, channeling it through hidden conduits to reservoirs both above and below ground. Their ability to sculpt monumental structures directly from solid rock, with precise angles and intricate details, speaks to a knowledge of stonework and a societal organization far beyond what is often assumed. These were not just builders but sculptors of the earth itself. Beyond cities, evidence of profound human engagement with the underworld stretches back even further. Sophisticated early mining shafts found in places like ancient Egypt for gold, in Europe for copper, or in Poland for flint, demonstrate an astounding capacity for deep excavation. These were not shallow quarries but intricate subterranean labyrinths, sometimes extending hundreds of meters underground. Miners, often working with crude tools like antler picks and stone hammers, navigated complex geological strata, creating elaborate tunnel systems to extract precious resources. The organization needed for these operations to supply tools, provide ventilation, extract materials, and manage a workforce deep underground implies highly structured societies with specialized knowledge of geology, engineering, and logistics.
How did they light these deep tunnels?
How did they remove tons of rock and soil without mechanical lifts? These are not minor questions, but fundamental challenges that demand advanced solutions that have largely vanished from our historical record. The scale, engineering sophistication, and sheer human effort evident in these known subterranean marvels are astonishing. To carve Derinkuyi's multi-level complex, untold cubic meters of rock would have been painstakingly removed piece by piece without explosives or powerful machinery. The creation of Petra's rock-cut wonders meant not just constructing, but subtracting material with immense precision, a process fundamentally different from building on the surface. These projects represent an investment of labor, time, and intellectual capital that rivals, and in some ways surpasses, the construction of surface pyramids or Great Walls. They force us to question the conventional timelines of human capability. Were the skills used to create Derinkuyi truly developed by societies considered early or primitive? The evidence suggests a far greater understanding of architecture, geology, and environmental control than our history books often allow. A mysterious question lingers about the full purpose or extent of some of these ancient underground networks. While Derinkuyi clearly served as a defensive city and long-term refuge, its sheer size suggests more than just temporary shelter. Was it part of an even larger interconnected system of underground cities and tunnels stretching across Cappadocia? Legends and local folklore hint at vast, unexplored passages linking these complexes, suggesting a network whose true scale remains unknown. Similarly, the full extent of Petra's subterranean world may still be hidden, with many chambers and tunnels yet to be discovered. The constant flow of fresh air in Derinkuyi, for instance, hints at intelligent design far beyond simply punching holes in rock. It points to an understanding of fluid dynamics and atmospheric pressure that seems out of place for its supposed era. These are not isolated feats, but possibly fragments of a larger, more comprehensive underground blueprint. Perhaps one of the most intriguing implications is the existence of advanced engineering skills without corresponding visible surface infrastructure. For many of these subterranean sites, there is a striking absence of massive spoil heaps that would normally accompany the excavation of millions of tons of rock. Where did all the material go? Were there techniques for its disposal or reuse that we no longer understand? Furthermore, the precision cutting and shaping of rock, particularly at places like Petra or in early mining operations, suggests tools and methods that have left little surface trace. This challenges the assumption that advanced civilizations must leave grand surface monuments. It proposes a different path, where a profound mastery of geology and subterranean construction developed in parallel, or perhaps even independently, from surface building traditions. It hints at a civilization that was designed to disappear, or at least to minimize its surface footprint, a concept that aligns perfectly with the idea of a deep earth sanctuary. This consistent, sophisticated engagement with the underworld leads to a compelling hypothesis: the possibility of a distinct subterranean culture that developed alongside, or even predated, surface-dwelling societies. Imagine generations living, evolving, and innovating within the stable, protected environment of the deep earth. Their technologies, their social structures, their very worldview would be shaped by perpetual darkness, stable temperatures, and the omnipresent embrace of rock. Such a culture would prioritize different skills: expert geology, advanced hydrogeology, structural engineering tailored to rock formations, efficient air circulation, and perhaps even subterranean agriculture or resource management. Their knowledge would be invaluable for understanding and surviving within the Earth's crust, a specialized wisdom that surface cultures might never acquire. Could these be the ancestors of the mythical subterranean beings or gods of the underworld that myths recall, their advanced understanding of the deep misinterpreted as magic or divine power by surface dwellers? The profound human ingenuity and organization necessary to carve out and sustain vast underground living spaces for thousands speak volumes about the societies that built them. These were not nomadic tribes or simple hunter-gatherer bands. They were complex hierarchical societies capable of long-term planning, massive communal labor, and highly specialized skills. The construction of these cities required a shared vision, a sustained effort over generations, and an advanced social contract to organize resources and labor. Think of the logistics: feeding the workers, disposing of waste, providing light, and ensuring safety in dark, confined spaces. These are challenges that demand sophisticated management and a deep understanding of human needs within an extreme environment. The very existence of such complexes proves that humans were not just surviving in the deep earth, but thriving, creating enduring legacies of their mastery over rock and darkness. These ancient masterpieces beneath the surface are more than just archaeological curiosities. They are powerful evidence that humanity, or at least some advanced segment of it, turned to the Earth's depths with purpose and extraordinary skill. They carved out not just shelters, but entire worlds, demonstrating an understanding of engineering and organization that continues to baffle us. These incredible achievements, protected by the very Earth they inhabit, force us to reconsider the linearity of our history. They suggest that the deep Earth is not merely a blank canvas awaiting our modern exploration, but a repository of forgotten ambition, a silent testament to ancient civilizations that engineered their survival and their legacy, hidden from the fleeting light of the surface. The astonishing feats of ancient engineers, carving vast complexes beneath the surface.
Hint at a knowledge we still struggle to comprehend.
Yet their known works might only be a surface whisper of deeper mysteries. Today, our understanding of the Earth's hidden architecture extends beyond the archaeological dig, venturing into the unseen through the lens of modern science. If forgotten worlds lie beneath, patiently waiting, then it is through these sophisticated probes that we might finally begin to glimpse their enduring presence. Our tools for exploring the deep Earth have grown beyond the simple pickaxe and shovel. Scientists now employ an array of geological and geophysical techniques designed to peer through kilometers of solid rock. Seismic imaging, for instance, sends powerful sound waves deep into the Earth's crust. As these waves travel, they encounter different materials and structures, reflecting and refracting in distinct patterns. By analyzing the echoes that return, researchers can create detailed three-dimensional maps of subsurface geology. It is as though we are sending out a pulse, listening intently for the Earth's reply, slowly building a picture of its internal landscape layer by hidden layer. Deep drilling projects push the boundaries of physical penetration, though even the deepest boreholes only scratch the surface in geological terms. These efforts, like the Kola Superdeep borehole, reaching over 12 kilometers down, provide invaluable direct samples of ancient rock and conditions far below. But their reach is limited. The vast majority of the Earth's crust, stretching many tens of kilometers, remains physically inaccessible. Yet other methods extend our senses. Remote sensing technologies, often satellite-based, can detect subtle variations in the Earth's gravitational or magnetic fields. These fluctuations, though faint, can sometimes indicate unusual masses or structures buried deep below, things that do not fit the expected geological uniformity. Ground-penetrating radar, or GPR, offers a closer, more detailed view. Sending electromagnetic pulses into the ground, GPR can detect buried objects, voids, and changes in soil density. While typically effective only to shallower depths, tens of meters, sometimes 100, it has proven instrumental in uncovering buried archaeological sites and hidden tunnels closer to the surface. Magnetometry measures local magnetic field variations, revealing structures that might have a different magnetic signature than their surroundings, such as ancient kilns, metal deposits, or even massive stone structures. Each of these techniques, whether probing with sound, light, or magnetic fields, adds another dimension to our ability to visualize the unseen, turning the opaque depths into a canvas of potential discovery. Through these methods, science has begun to detect phenomena that challenge our easy assumptions about the Earth's interior. Researchers have documented unexplained subsurface anomalies, unusual density variations that suggest massive hidden structures, unexpected voids or hollow spaces that defy natural formation, and strange seismic patterns that do not align with known geological models. In some regions, gravity surveys have revealed subtle but persistent fluctuations, hinting at anomalous masses or depressions far below that current geological understanding struggles to explain. These are not direct images of cities, nor clear signs of lost civilizations, but they are enigmas. They are whispers from the deep, data points that deviate from the expected, suggesting that the Earth's hidden architecture may hold more complexity than our current maps account for. The scientific method, by its nature, approaches these anomalies with caution. An unusual density reading might be a unique mineral deposit. A strange seismic echo could be an unmapped fault line. Yet when such anomalies appear in patterns, when multiple techniques converge on the same region with puzzling results, the questions become more compelling. They move from simple geological curiosity to the edge of what we understand about our planet's past. We are, in essence, listening to a faint, distorted signal, trying to discern if it is static or a message from an unimaginable distance. Despite these advances, the inherent limitations of our current technology are profound. We can probe kilometers down, but the Earth's crust extends for tens of kilometers, and its true depths for thousands. The vast unknowns that remain just kilometers beneath our feet are staggering. It is like attempting to map an entire continent by shining a flashlight into a few small caves. The sheer volume of unexplored rock, the immense pressures and temperatures, and the difficulty of transmitting and receiving clear signals through such dense material mean that most of the deep Earth remains a truly alien frontier. We are still in the infancy of truly understanding what lies beneath, and the majority of Earth's crust has never been directly observed or even remotely sensed with sufficient resolution to detect anything but the grandest geological formations. However, the potential for future breakthroughs in detection technologies is immense. As our understanding of quantum mechanics, material science, and data processing continues to evolve, so too will our ability to perceive the unseen. Imagine advanced neutrino detectors capable of mapping internal structures with unprecedented clarity, or deep penetrating autonomous probes that can withstand extreme conditions and send back direct observations from previously unreachable depths. Breakthroughs in synthetic aperture radar, advanced LiDAR for subterranean mapping, or even completely new principles of remote sensing could one day unlock hidden chapters of Earth's past. These future tools may allow us to move beyond ambiguous data, to resolve the blurry images into clear outlines, and perhaps to reveal structures that could only be the work of intelligent hands. Of course, the scientific method maintains a cautious approach to interpreting such ambiguous data. Extraordinary claims, it rightly asserts, require extraordinary proof. A faint gravitational anomaly, while intriguing, is not a city. A peculiar seismic reflection is not a clear sign of a tunnel system. The scientific community operates on consensus built on repeatable observations and verifiable evidence. This careful skepticism, while frustrating to the speculative mind, is essential. It prevents us from projecting our imagination onto every unexplained ripple in the data. Yet, the imaginative possibilities that these anomalies suggest are not to be dismissed entirely. They fuel the questions, they drive the continued research, and they remind us that the line between scientific inquiry and profound wonder is often very thin. The absence of definitive proof is not proof of absence, especially in a realm as vast and unyielding as the Earth's interior. Further supporting the possibility of hidden life, if not necessarily lost civilizations, is the burgeoning field of deep Earth microbiology. For decades, scientists believed that life required sunlight for photosynthesis, or at least a direct connection to surface ecosystems. But discoveries in recent years have utterly transformed this view. We now know that a thriving deep biosphere exists extending for kilometers beneath the surface. This vast, dark world is home to extremophilic microorganisms that derive energy from chemical reactions within rocks, completely independent of the sun. They live in conditions of extreme pressure, heat, and isolation, forming vast, unseen ecosystems. The concept of a thriving deep biosphere challenges our very definition of where life can exist. It demonstrates that the deep Earth is not a barren, lifeless void, but a dynamic environment capable of sustaining intricate biological communities. If simple life can endure and flourish in these extreme, isolated subterranean environments, then the conditions for a more complex, organized existence are not entirely beyond the realm of possibility. It provides a foundation, a scientific precedent, for considering that the Earth's interior could indeed harbor worlds we have yet to imagine, a hidden realm where life, in its myriad forms, could exist, evolve, and perhaps even build beyond the light. The science of the unseen is slowly peeling back the layers, hinting at a reality far more intricate and mysterious than we ever dared to believe. Our probes into the Earth's hidden depths, revealing unexplained voids and strange seismic patterns, compel a profound question. If civilizations truly exist, or once existed beneath the surface, what drove them there? The surface world, for all its vibrant life and boundless light, has always been a stage of immense volatility. It is a realm of cycles, of dramatic shifts and devastating events, a truth deeply etched into the geological record. For a civilization seeking enduring survival, the very ground beneath their feet might have offered not just shelter, but the ultimate sanctuary. Consider the relentless forces that have shaped our planet across deep time. Global climate shifts, not mere seasonal variations, but grand oscillations that transform continents. Periods of intense glaciation, where vast ice sheets scrape away landscapes, rendering once fertile regions barren. Conversely, eras of intense heat and prolonged drought can turn vast breadbaskets into dust, making sustaining life a daily struggle. For surface-dwelling societies, these shifts represent existential threats capable of eroding the very foundations of their existence. Cities become untenable, agriculture impossible, and entire populations face a slow, relentless extinction. To escape such planetary-scale disruptions, to seek a stable climate beyond the reach of the sun's erratic temper, the deep Earth would present an unparalleled solution. a self-regulating haven immune to the whims of the atmosphere. Beyond terrestrial shifts, the cosmos itself offers its own array of threats. Celestial impacts, though rare on human timescales, are an inevitable feature of our planet's long history. An asteroid or comet striking the Earth can unleash energy equivalent to thousands of nuclear bombs, plunging the world into a nuclear winter, igniting global firestorms, or triggering tsunamis of unimaginable scale. The immediate destruction would be absolute, but the lingering aftermath, blocked sunlight, poisoned air, fractured ecosystems, would render the surface unlivable for generations. For a civilization capable of envisioning such a threat and possessing the engineering prowess, a subterranean exodus would represent the ultimate form of planetary insurance, a deliberate retreat into a shield of rock many kilometers thick, protected from the fire and ice falling from the heavens. The vulnerability of surface life extends beyond natural cataclysms. History itself is punctuated by devastating pandemics, silent unseen enemies that can sweep through populations, decimating societies and unraveling the fabric of civilization. A highly infectious, lethal pathogen against which no immunity exists could pose a threat as profound as any asteroid. Furthermore, the spectre of prolonged human conflict, of wars fought with weapons capable of rendering vast tracts of land uninhabitable, might have presented its own compelling argument for seeking refuge. To retreat into isolated, self-sustaining subterranean networks would offer protection not just from the elements, but from the self-destructive tendencies of surface civilizations, a strategic disengagement from the chaos above, preserving culture and life in a world apart. This is not merely about finding a temporary hiding place. It is the compelling hypothesis that going underground was a deliberate, advanced survival strategy. For a civilization facing existential threats on the surface, with the foresight to anticipate catastrophe and the technological capacity to enact a profound societal transformation, the decision to move below would be a monumental act of collective will. It speaks to a deep understanding of geological stability, resource management, and social organization necessary to sustain populations in environments devoid of natural light. Such an undertaking would require not just engineering brilliance, but a profound cultural shift, a collective agreement to abandon the familiar surface world for the enduring embrace of the deep. Beyond these immediate, dramatic threats, subtler, long-term pressures might also drive such a move. Resource scarcity, as surface populations expanded and perhaps overconsumed, could compel a desperate search for new veins of existence, not merely raw materials, but stable, renewable sources of energy, water, and food. As societies grew, the relentless demand for potable water, rare minerals, and cultivable land could easily outstrip the capacity of regional ecosystems. Rapid environmental degradation, perhaps from unchecked industrialization, catastrophic pollution, or irreversible climate change, might slowly choke the life out of surface habitats, driving populations to seek stable, controlled subterranean environments where air, water, and even light could be meticulously managed, purified, and endlessly recycled. The deep Earth, with its vast mineral reserves, geothermal energy, and inherent thermal stability, could represent a nearly limitless wellspring of resources for those with the ingenuity to tap it, a sustainable ecosystem meticulously engineered by those who chose its embrace, free from the volatile cycles of depletion and renewal that plague the surface. The enduring appeal of subterranean existence lies in its long-term resilience. Deep subterranean shelters offer an unmatched level of stability and protection. Imagine a world shielded from the sun's harsh UV radiation, from the relentless fury of superstorms, or from the atmospheric fallout of planetary-scale events. Within these sealed environments, atmospheric pressure, temperature, and humidity could be precisely regulated, creating an artificial biosphere immune to the chaos above. Such a choice would not be for a temporary refuge, but for a permanent self-sufficient existence, designed to endure for millennia, carrying the torch of civilization through cycles of surface destruction, preserving knowledge and life through ages of darkness. This enduring isolation might even allow them to circumvent the destructive resets that have repeatedly wiped the slate clean on the surface, creating a continuous thread of existence where none was possible above. Living for millennia in such an isolated, controlled environment would inevitably lead to distinct evolutionary paths and technological developments. Without the immediate pressures of a sunlit environment, where light cycles and weather patterns dictate biological rhythms, subterranean inhabitants might develop unique biological adaptations, perhaps enhanced sensory perception in profound darkness, an acute sensitivity to vibrations, or metabolisms finely tuned to low-energy chemosynthetic ecosystems. Their social structures, too, could evolve in unexpected ways, fostering communities bound by the necessity of shared survival in a confined, engineered space. Their technology, unburdened by the demands of surface life, would diverge dramatically. Energy generation might focus on harnessing geothermal heat or advanced nuclear solutions, completely independent of external resources. Architectural design would adapt to the immense pressures of rock and the challenge of carving vast, stable spaces. Resource recycling would reach unparalleled efficiency, transforming waste into sustenance and air. Communication and information storage, unconstrained by atmospheric interference or terrestrial distances, could evolve in entirely novel, perhaps even quantum, directions. These civilizations existing in profound isolation might forge pathways of innovation unimaginable to their surface counterparts, their knowledge and advancements shaped by the very rock that surrounds them, a testament to intelligent adaptation born of necessity. This concept, while vast in its ancient implications, finds undeniable echoes in our own contemporary anxieties. Our modern world, acutely aware of its vulnerabilities, has begun to invest heavily in deep earth storage initiatives and survival bunkers. Governments and private entities construct vast underground facilities to house critical infrastructure, safeguard invaluable cultural archives, or prepare for worst-case scenarios, from global pandemics to nuclear war. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault, carved deep into an Arctic mountain, protects humanity's agricultural heritage from any surface catastrophe. High-security data centers are burrowed into bedrock, immune to electromagnetic pulses or extreme weather. These projects, born of our own instinct for self-preservation, reflect an enduring human instinct for refuge, a recognition that the Earth's depths offer a final, formidable line of defense against the unpredictable nature of existence. They are a modern testament to a primal understanding that to secure the future, sometimes one must turn away from the light and delve into the enduring darkness below. This instinct for self-preservation, reflected in both ancient myths and modern preparations, paints a picture of civilizations not merely vanishing, but perhaps deliberately retreating. It suggests that the perceived silence of the deep earth may not be empty, but a profound testament to an ultimate choice, a conscious turning away from the surface stage to write a new, hidden chapter of existence, far from the sun's gaze, the whispers from the deep. The faint signals from beneath our feet challenge more than just archaeological timelines. They ask us to fundamentally reconsider the story of ourselves. If advanced civilizations have indeed thrived in Earth's subterranean depths, shielded from the surface's relentless cycles of destruction, then the very foundations of human history are not merely shaken,
They are transformed.
our current understanding, that linear progression from primitive tool users to spacefaring societies, becomes less a grand saga and more a single, fragile chapter in an immense, unwritten book. The discovery of such worlds would recast humanity's origin, suggesting an evolutionary journey far more complex and multifaceted than previously conceived. What if our intelligence, our ingenuity, is not a singular triumphant ascent, but a recurring theme, manifesting in different forms under different suns, or even in perpetual darkness? It would force us to redefine what it means to be human, to be a civilization. Our place in the cosmos, too, would shift. We often gaze outward, seeking signs of life among the stars, while perhaps ignoring the universes that have blossomed and faded within our own planet. The potential for intelligent life to develop, adapt, and endure in environments we once deemed impossible would open staggering new avenues of thought about life's resilience and adaptability throughout the universe. This perspective offers a profound, yet humbling realization. Our known history, played out on the Earth's surface, may be but a fleeting,
vulnerable moment in a much grander, hidden narrative.
The sunlit world, with its mountains and oceans, its sprawling cities and ephemeral empires, is but one stage in a cosmic play. Beneath it, in the deep time of the planet, countless acts may have unfolded. Generations of intelligent beings charting their own courses, building their own empires, and crafting their own destinies in the serene, stable embrace of the underworld. Our surface-dwelling existence, with its constant battles against erosion and cataclysm, appears almost, as an exception, a brief and vibrant burst of life in contrast to the deep, enduring quietude of subterranean ages. We are not necessarily the first, nor are we guaranteed to be the last. Our legacy, carved into stone and broadcast into the air,
may be no more permanent than the echoes of those who came before us,
now buried deep within the planet's silent embrace. A profound sense of wonder washes over us when we consider the sheer enormity of what remains unknown. The depths of our Earth, stretching for thousands of kilometers, remain largely unexplored, a vast, dark ocean of rock and mystery. We have only begun to scratch the surface, both literally and figuratively. What secrets are held within those titanic layers? What stories lie etched in rock, waiting for a light to illuminate them? This enduring curiosity, this fundamental human drive to discover, is what pushes us forward. It urges us to peer deeper, to listen more closely, and to question everything we thought we knew. The lure of the unknown, the possibility that untold histories are quietly unfolding beneath our feet, serves as a powerful reminder of how much more there is to learn. To see, to comprehend, future revelations are not just possible, they are inevitable. As technology advances, as our understanding of geology and remote sensing evolves, the subtle hints and anomalies we now detect may coalesce into undeniable evidence. Geophysical scans might reveal structures too precise to be natural. Deep drilling operations might bring forth artifacts that rewrite every textbook. These future discoveries will continuously challenge and reshape our present assumptions about ancient history and human origins. The linear narrative, once so comforting, will give way to a tapestry woven with threads from both the surface and the deep. What we now classify as myth or anomaly may one day be understood as fragmented memory or veiled evidence. Our collective history is not a finished manuscript, but an ongoing composition with new pages waiting to be turned, hidden deep within the planet itself. Ultimately, the quest for these lost subterranean civilizations leads us to a philosophical insight into humanity's enduring mystery and our deep,
often overlooked connection to the living planet itself.
We are not separate from the Earth. We are part of its intricate, layered story, both above and below. Our consciousness, our civilizations, are expressions of this planet's life, unfolding in diverse and unimaginable ways. The Earth, a living entity, has fostered life in its hidden chambers and on its exposed plains. Our journey, whether it has always been confined to the surface or has ventured into the deep, is inextricably linked to this dynamic, ancient sphere. It is a reminder that the greatest mysteries may not lie in distant galaxies, but in the heart of our own home. To truly understand ourselves, we must first understand the complete story of our planet in all its silent subterranean grandeur. The Earth holds its secrets close, but perhaps in time it will allow us to read its deepest, most profound chapters.